Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Tony from Tony's Professional Touch, based out of San Bernardino, California. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how we do our maintenance details. So let's get right into it. Follow me along.
All right, Tony. So, walk me through the steps that you're going to do over here.
So this is our bi-weekly maintenance client. So basically our mini detail. It's going to be a detailed foam wash, main interior detail, and spray wax. So we're going to begin with the wheels. We're going to clean the barrels thoroughly, the face, the tires, underneath the fenders. And then we're going to rinse the whole thing thoroughly, do our foam wash, hand wash, start from top to bottom, rinse that off, and then we'll start blow drying everything, depending on protection. If there's no protection, then we'll use the towel, microfiber towel, drying towel. If there is a bit of protection, then we'll use a blower on the whole thing. Open the doors, blow out the door jambs, and then we'll get inside, start doing our vacuum or wipe down inside. And then we'll come back outside once we're done with the inside and do our spray wax, and then do our finishing touches, which will be windows, tire dressing, wipe down the wheels, and then that should be about it.
How come you start on the outside?
Just because it makes it easier to fully dry everything. So when we do the outside, once we go to the inside, it's not fully dry yet, but since there's heat, sun outside and whatnot, it helps dry all the cracks and crevices. Because when we do it the other way around, it usually takes a bit longer to dry everything off. So if the client was to leave or something, it'd drip around and leave watermarks. So just to avoid that. But also it just also depends. The inside is not too bad on our maintenance clients. So if it was really bad, then we'd want to start on the inside. But it's not really that bad, so it's a quick wipe down and vacuum for the inside, so it doesn't take too long. Now also, if it was windy outside or dusty or dirty or something, then we want to start with the inside first, just because if we did the outside and then the inside, by the time we came back outside, it'd be all dusty all over again. So you want to turn it in as clean as possible. So if it was windy, then we'd do the inside first.
All right, Tony. So I know you just broke it down, but what you starting with now?
So I'm gonna make sure I have my wheel stuff ready. I'm gonna set it here, and then I'm gonna pull out my my hose reel, straighten it out, so I can come back to the pressure washer and turn it on. That way when I turn it on, it doesn't all kind of tangle up. So I'll stretch it all the way out. First thing I always do is touch the wheels, make sure that they're not hot. So these aren't too hot, they're warm, but I'm still gonna rinse them down first. So I got a lot of that brake dust off. Now it's ready for my wheel cleaner to get the rest of it off.
Why does it matter if it's hot or not?
It can stain it if it's hot, instantly stain the wheel if it's hot.
Okay. Hey Tony, do you have a technique of how you scrub your tires?
Yeah, so I'll start with the barrel first, and then I'll do the face, and then I'll do the tire, and then underneath the fender, and then I'll rinse everything off. And then also, if we're working if it was really hot and in direct sunlight, you'd want to put your wheel cleaner and then foam it up to give you extra working time.
All right, Tony, you're done with the tires. What's next?
So we just rinse down the vehicle, and now we're gonna foam it up, and then start our hand wash process.
Hey Tony, so I know a lot of people use a 2-bucket method. You're using one towel.
Yep.
Why?
So especially for our maintenance vehicles that aren't really too bad, the towel is lightweight. You can see through it if it has anything messed up on it. If you drop it, you get a brand new one, no biggie. Also, you have 8 sides to this, so a lot more sides to flip over once you do. What I like to do is do the whole top half, flip it, do the bottom half, flip it again, do the next top half, flip it, do the bottom half, flip it. Then you can still flip it again, do the front side, then flip it again, do the back side. So you got a bunch of areas to work with. Instead of when you use one mitt, you only have 2 sides to work with, so you got to get multiple mitts, and they're also heavier. So towel is just my personal preference, and I don't have any issues with it.
Hey Tony, So you're done rinsing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but it's hot outside, bro. How much time do you give yourself to avoid water spots? You know, tell us.
Well, since we're using spot-free water, we don't really have to worry about too much about getting water spots. However, we still want to dry off as much of the water as we can, just because it just makes it more difficult for you if you just let it sit there. Like, it won't leave permanent water spots, but it'll still leave like a residue that you'll have to wipe off anyways. So I try to blow dry as much of it off, and then that way it makes our life easier.
I know some people use towels first. You use an air blower.
Yeah, so if the vehicle has some type of protection and it beats up, I'll use the air blower first, and then sometimes I'll use towels if there's still a lot of water. But for the most part, I'll do like 95% of it if it has protection on it with the blower, and then whatever's left, like in the cracks and crevices, I'll wipe it down when I do like the door jams and whatnot with the microfiber towel. So a bonus tip for you guys is you want to make sure when you check the vehicle, see if it has the rubber floor mats. If it does, you can take those out and rinse them out with the pressure washer. And then you also want to check the door jams. If the door jams are really dirty, you can rinse them out with the pressure washer. What I usually do is I lower down the pressure of the pressure washer. That way it's not too strong and it messes anything up. So it's at like the lowest setting. And then you rinse it in there carefully. I use the lowest degree tip. So it would be like a 15 degree or something like that, the yellow tip. And rinse the door jams out so it can make it easier when you go to do the wipe down. Another tip would be when you're blow drying the vehicle, you want to start on the sunny side where the sun is hitting the most. So you want to dry as much as you can from that side, and then when you're doing the top area, I usually like to start with the top. So when you do the top area, you try to throw all the water from one side to the other side, like completely to the other side, as much as you can. That way when you get to the other side, you don't have to kind of throw it the other way and it's just stuck in the middle and leave spots in the middle. So you try to get it as much as you can to the other side, and then once you get to the other side, you blow it just kind of down. So it just drips down and it's completely dry. You don't have any spots left.
All right, Tony. So are you done with the exterior?
Nah, it's not done yet, but it's pretty much mostly done. So I'd probably say like 70-80% of the outside is pretty much all done. The only thing that the outside needs is we need to do the spray wax on the paint and then wipe down the wheels, tire dressing, windows inside and out, door jambs. But we're gonna go ahead and get started on the mini interior. We start with the back, the trunk. We're gonna vacuum and wipe down everything in the back. And then while we're doing that and doing the whole mini interior, the sun is helping us dry the cracks and crevices. So it's like helps out with timing. This one's a little bit difficult to detail. So it's not like in bad condition because it's a maintenance client, so I clean it up every 2 weeks. But the reason that it's difficult to detail is he has these bucket seats that don't really, this back piece doesn't flip up or down. So it's really hard to get in the back area.
Hey, and also this client, he has I guess trash in the car.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Is that an extra fee or do you just do it for free?
Well, since he's a good maintenance client, I usually take care of it like no problem. And when there's not a lot of trash, it's not a big deal. If it was like super filthy or whatnot, then like I usually let new clients know ahead of time, like please take out all your personal belongings and like trash and whatnot. But like for him, he's usually not that bad, and he usually cleans it out most of it before I get to the detail. So like yeah, it's not too bad. So I don't charge him any extra or tell him anything. Just to get it done, take care of it, and happy clients, you're good.
Hey Tony, so I saw you spray and then vacuum. Why do you do that?
To loosen up any of like the gunk up that's in there. So he might have spilled like a soda or a drink or something. So it was a bit of residue down there. So I spray it, vacuum it up, and then if there's still some residue, just mop it up with the microfiber towel, and then you're all good to go. Also, if there's like coins or things in there, I'll take it out before doing any of that because you don't want to suck it up. And then once you're done cleaning it in there, just put it back.
Wait a minute, the coins? They're not.
Yeah, so
they're not extra tip.
Nah.
Oh,
just
okay.
throw it back unless they don't want them. Like sometimes they don't want them, and then they'll just say I can keep it or whatever. But for the most part, I just let him leave it in there, put it back. I'm not gonna be able to get it from here, but I found $2. One.
What?
Two. I just made my client $2 richer, just like that.
Wait. Editor, cut this out. Hey, I'm just late. Leave it in. What? If you sure it's not a tip? I think he's throwing you hints, Tony. He's like, let me sprinkle some dollars around.
So with this money, we gotta take it out and then clean it here and then throw it back in.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do, bro. Have you ever found a lot of money? before?
Yeah, I've had a client that left like a bunch of cash and then like a big check in his truck. We're talking like 5 digits.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
So he probably left like, I don't know, like $2,000 in cash and then like a $20,000 check. That was pretty cool to see. I was like, damn, nice.
And you told him?
Now he already knew it. Like, it was in the center console. I'm pretty sure he already knew it. It was like his work truck. So yeah. So for this middle piece where we just took out the money, we're gonna use our soft bristle brush from Carbon Collective, and then we're just gonna have the vacuum nearby and brush it into the vacuum, and it'll just pick up all that dust and debris. And then if there's anything like if he spilled something, we can just use our spray. This is just spot-free water, and then grab the vacuum and vacuum it up. And then you can just mop after with the microfiber towel.
Alright, Tony, so you just finished the inside. What's left over here?
So we're doing the wheel wipe down, just touching up anything we might have missed on when we were cleaning them, and then applying the tire dressing, and then doing that to all 4.
Okay. What tire dressing do you use?
We have our own, but for our mini details, we use like a hyper dressing replica because they don't really make it anymore. So that's from McGuire's, but they don't really make it anymore. So I gotta get like some detail store one.
Tony, what you doing now?
What am I doing now?
Yeah.
Just finishing up this window, and then that's about it. And then I gotta go park in the car.
Hey, for the spray, what do you use?
This?
Yeah.
For the ones that are spot-free water, unless they're like super caked up, then we can use glass cleaner. But on most of our maintenance vehicles, they're not really that bad since we clean them pretty often. So spot-free water works fine.
Hey, let me ask you, when you first started, were you into the hype of other chemical companies? Are you still into the hype?
When I first started, I was definitely into the hype. Like, I would buy out pretty much anything that was new or was like being hyped up or talked about. Now, I don't really like buy into the hype or anything. It takes me a really long time for me to try something that's new out. I really have to hear from a lot of detailers, and like they'll let me know. Like, it has to be like at least 10 people, like detailers that I trust that do good work, to tell me like, oh yeah, this new product is good and whatnot before I try it out. Like, because usually they all kind of work pretty similar, and like the stuff that I have now really works for me, so I don't really need to change anything up. But if another detailer shows me something that's working really good, then I'll give it a shot, and if I like it, then I'll switch out for whatever I used to use.
Hey Tony, so this car has a good amount of swirls in it. Would you recommend something for this customer, or you feel like you already know him, he's not gonna be interested? How do you decide that?
Well, with this client, he actually wants to get the new vehicle protection package done, which would be a 1-step correction and a 3-year ceramic coating to remove a lot of these swirls and scratches that it has. But before he does that, I always recommend all my clients to knock out, like get whatever they want to get done in terms of like exterior modifications done before moving on to a package like that. So I also recommend him to get like a paintless dent removal for this spot right here. Got a little ding and then a little scratch on it that chipped off the paint. So I told him, get that fixed, get me the touch-up pen, I'll touch it up for him when it comes time to do the new vehicle protection package. And then after he gets whatever other exterior modifications he wants to get, I can get that service done, and that way everything can like be good all at once. All right, well, there you guys have it. That's how I do my maintenance details. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any tips for me. And remember, if you guys like this type of content, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.